Wizards of the Coast has screwed up very badly with Double Masters 2022, and as a result, Magic the Gathering is now in crisis mode.
Magic.
I am a wizard!
History.
I'm an old wizard!
The Magic Historian.
My bones hurt. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well and you're staying cool, cause this heat wave is no joke. But you want to talk about sweating, Wizards of the Coast has to be sweating right now because they have made a massive mistake and literally just pushed Magic into full-on crisis mode. So, you're gonna need some background information to understand what's going on. I didn't realize until today just how dire the situation is. Originally, I was intending on just talking about a bunch of new spoilers, and we are going to incorporate the spoilers because a few cards here are actually part of the story that I'm going to lay out for you, and on top of that, it's just fun to look at new cards. So speaking of which, over on my Hatcher channel, I went over all of yesterday's spoilers. We're talking like 60 some odd cards. So you can check that out if you want, but we're going to dive in right now with the Double Masters 2022 spoiler action that lays the stage for this fiasco we're dealing with. Taking a look with Bitter Blossom first, right? Bitter Blossom is 1 black and 1 for a very powerful tribal fairy enchantment. I think this card is really cool. Every turn, it gives you a 1/1 black fairy flying rogue creature, and it only costs you 1 life. This is an amazing resource generator, and this card has been a beloved fan favorite from the very first day it was printed. An awesome home run of a card, but because it's so desirable, the price has obviously gone right up through the roof, and Wizards of the Coast likes to pay attention to those prices and really kind of string us along, not giving us very many of these reprints, right? Another card in this vein is Consecrated Sphinx. 2 blue and 4 for a 4/6 flyer. Whenever opponent draws a card, you may draw 2 cards. So this is cool from a flavor perspective. It's literally a Phyrexianized Sphinx. That is awesome. But from a power level, it's bonkers, right? You play in Commander or whatever, you make 1 rotation around the table, each of your 3 opponents draw a card, you've drawn 6. Like, this is a not-so Commander card. It's good in other formats as well, but let's be real, this is crazy good for Commander, just like the Imperial Seal that we saw yesterday. And that's part of the problem that we're gonna find here with this disaster scenario. So, the groundwork, we have these powerful cards in Double Masters 2022, which by itself isn't really a problem. That's what you want in reprint sets. That's how you succeed, right? But here is the problem. Wizards of the Coast has pushed out an insane amount of products in the last little while. Everything seems to have another product right on its heels, right? We started out kind of slower at the beginning of the year, I guess, with the double feature right into Kamigawa, and then maybe we had a little lull while we moved on to Capenna, right? But once we hit Capenna, we have been at breakneck speed, like literally no way to keep up with what's going on overall for most players. We go Capenna, then it feels like a month later we have Baldur's Gate. Then you go a month later, and now here we are, and it's Double Masters 2022 time. So you have basically 3 sets that are all staggered like a month apart, and they're supposed to be different beasts to appeal to different audiences. Now, Capenna obviously was your mobster world, messing around, let's try something out in left field and see if we can bring people in. But then you turn around and go back to a more traditional style of Magic with the Baldur's Gate Dungeons and Dragons, Swords and Sorcery setup. Now, this is Wizards both revisiting the D&D concept and bringing Commander Legends back at the same time. So they're marrying these two together at this point in what should be truly harmonious. But you run into a number of problems for Baldur's Gate. First of all, Baldur's Gate got a massive slam when a whole lot of the cards from the set got leaked in advance, right? So you've got the hype kind of half crushed for the Baldur's Gate set. Secondly, Wizards didn't do enough to make it a good set. It seemed like they were, okay, you know what, if we make a bunch of cards that fit into the D&D theme, that'll work out for us, and we'll do the set and collector boosters, all this good sort of thing. But they didn't put in a massive, insane chase card in the form of the Jeweled Lotus, right? That thing is still massively banger and crazy. When you think about Baldur's Gate, The only cards that people seem to be really hyped about are like Elminster from a flavor perspective, but all I ever really hear people talking about are the dragons in the set. And the dragons, they have like a secondary market value that doesn't really feel like it's connected to reality. So Baldur's Gate honestly has a few overpriced mythics that don't really meet their price tag. It doesn't have a huge amount of demand, and underneath it all, it didn't appeal enough to Commander players. Like if you take specifically a look at the Imperial Seal that we saw yesterday, this is a big hype release, but it should have been in Baldur's Gate. It's a Commander card. Think about it. When you look at Imperial Seal on the surface of it, there were multiple people actually commenting yesterday about it going, I don't understand why people like this Imperial Seal. Aren't these other tutors better? And the answer is yes, the other tutors are better. This is just better specifically in Commander. So if they had put Imperial Seal into the Baldur's Gate set, then boom, you'd have that huge, flashy, Commander-specific card. And the Consecrated Sphinx is another fantastic example of a big, flashy, not on Imperial Seal level, let's be real, Seal is like mega value. But either way, it's on the same level in terms of desirability, not financially, but play desirability, right? So you have these cards that scream, I am for Commander. And instead of putting it in a Commander set, they're putting this all in the set that comes out afterwards. Now you may be thinking to yourself, you know what, you're blowing this out of proportion. This isn't a big deal. Well, when you go and take a look at the financial markets, you will see it is in fact a massive deal. Here's where the big problem comes in, friends. LGS's players, we can't keep up. Wizards is just crammed so much stuff down our throats, the gag reflex is basically kicking in, and what you're seeing is Baldur's Gate box prices and stuff being slashed horrendously. I mean, I thought this was only happening here or there. Okay, you know what, maybe there's a couple of stores that ordered too much and they're turning around saying, okay, let's slash the prices, we sell this stuff so we can bring in the Double Masters 2022 because everybody is super hyped about this set, right? Now we've got a situation where I've talked to LGS owners who have told me, bro, this set is such a dog. Not only is nobody buying Baldur's Gate because they want Double Masters? Like, there's one of them was cursing Double Masters 2022. He's like, don't get me wrong, it's a desirable product, but the way Wizards does things has absolutely hosed us here. I've had a bunch of people canceling my orders. I can't sell these boxes. Nobody's coming in to buy them off the shelf. And here's the real kicker. This is when you know things are ugly, friends. When the LGS owners turn around to the distributors and say, I need to send some of this product back. I got too much product. And the distributor goes, no takebacks, bro, no takebacks. The distributor won't touch it. It's like, no. We played hot potato. We can't move this stuff out of our warehouse. You think we're taking more back from you? No, you bought it, you deal with it. Now, this has a really big knock-on effect. First of all, it damages the relationship between distributors and LGS owners, right? So that part of the chain is messed up, but it kicks up all along the way, right? What happens is stores, people will turn around and go, well, I'm not going to order that much of this stuff. Wizards is cranking this out. Why would I order a ton of this to put on the shelf when the next month you're just going to turn around and put something else out? So you've got LGS is taking a bath on it. It's going to cause a reduction in the amount of products that are available because LGSs aren't going to be willing to spend more. This is all happening at a time where Wizards of the Coast is cramming the prices up into the sky. I want you to remember that Unfinity was also supposed to be in the mix. We were supposed to get Unfinity in April, not October, April. So there was supposed to be another set crammed in there. Wizards of the Coast is pushing stuff out at a rate that is absolutely unsustainable, and it totally feels like we're reaching the same scenario that we saw with Iconic Masters and Masters 25, where LGS owners are stuck for years with dead stock because Wizards of the Coast didn't care to make a solid product and just pushed it out the door to get money. So it's pretty brutal to go Capenna, Baldur's Gate, straight into the Double Masters, where there had been enough hype about the Double Masters coming that multiple people were like, bro, I'm hanging back. Baldur's Gate season absolutely obliterated by all this. And there's no way that Wizards shouldn't be able to see what's going on. It's like they basically went, we're going to put out Baldur's Gate and go, okay, well, here's your D&D set, here's your Commander Legend set, get super hyped. buy it. And then they're like, well, how do we make sure they buy Double Masters? Put a bunch of awesome Commander cards in there. Maybe put some of those awesome Commander reprints in the actual Commander set. You guys might not realize the implications of this, but Double Masters may have just been the death knell for both Dungeons and Dragons sets and Commander Legends. That's the situation we're talking about. We're talking about LGS owners having to return product, distributors going, nope, 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 nope. Massive reductions across the board in terms of what people are buying. And so as a result, there will be lesser sales, right? And when Wizards of the Coast looks and decides what products they're going to continue to make, are we going back to this? It's based on the sales of the product. How well did it do? Why do you think we always go back to Zendikar? Why do you think we always go back to Innistrad and Ravnica? Because those sets sold well. Mark Rosewater has come out and said specifically that part of the reason they lean into making powerful cards for new set worlds is because if the new set world does not pop immediately, if a set does not pop, then that basically means they're not gonna do it again. One failure means you're basically never gonna get another chance. Or if you do get another chance, it'll be like Kamigawa, where it's 20 years later, and it's really just they wanted to do Cyberpunk and went, let's stretch Kamigawa's skin over it. So, Double Masters 2022 combined with Wizards of the Coast choices may be single-handedly responsible for us never getting another Dungeons and Dragons Magic the Gathering set, which is crazy to me because the depths that you can go to for all of the flavor, everything that's available in there, all the different D&D worlds, to cast it aside like that at the same time as crushing the Commander Legends product, you have to hand it to them. The first Commander Legends was banger, right? Like it was a great product aside from the foil quality. The foil quality, except for the edge foils, was abysmal. But overall, the original Commander Legends was a solid first foray, and it obviously justified a second Commander Legends, because if it hadn't sold banger, then they would throw it out the door and go, never again, right? So this is an idea that they know has worked, and they've just sandwiched it into this financial nightmare of greed. Like, would they really make that much less money if they just shifted like 2 mythics, like the Consecrated Sphinx, shift that on over, right? Especially Imperial Seal. That is the biggest, like, are you kidding me? Why are you putting a bunch of Commander cards in Double Masters 2022 instead of the Commander set? If the Commander set was filled to the brim with goodness, you'd go, well, they just couldn't cram any more into it. But when you look at Baldur's Gate, it is a flopping fish gasping out on the ground. On one hand, you may want to pay attention to that because situations like this can lead to a scenario where over time, cards from these sets become really hard to get. You know what, with the inflation that's going on in the world, and Wizards probably gonna have to cut their production a little bit, that's another thing that frustrates me about this as well, and I'm glad I remembered because I almost missed this point. Wizards of the Coast is cranking out so much product that they can't keep up with what they want to do. So for example, Double Masters collector boosters are actually going to be delayed. They put an announcement about that up on the WPN site like a day and a half ago. So they can't keep up with the products that they want to make. They can't fully print everything they want to make, and yet they're still trying to do things at a breakneck pace. You have to understand that on top of all this, we just got a Secret Lair Super Drop announced in addition, right? There is literally too much. There is a limit. People can turn around and say, wait, you know what? People who say, I wish I could collect every Magic product and it sucks that I can't get them all. I understand that mentality, but that's not really enough of an argument to say, slow down on the products you're making. However, when you're making so many products that people are going, no, that one's a dog, I'm gonna get this awesome one that's coming like a few weeks from now. Baldur's Gate stuff is out. The pre-release season is already hitting, and let's be real, Baldur's Gate also got hit by multiple factors that made it much worse. You had the leak that showed half the set to begin with, right? So you got that straight out of the gates that really kind of impacted the hype season, on top of the Double Masters basically eating its lunch. So yeah, Baldur's Gate is going to be one of those weird ones in the middle. You might be able to score up some boxes at a deal right now because people are in a crunch. Distributors won't take it back. And that is the biggest thing. That to me, when I heard that the distributors would not take the product back, normally they will because they can sell it to other people and they want to maintain a good relationship. And this tells you how dire the situation has become. As far as I'm concerned, Magic is currently in full-on crisis mode. It may not be evident, but when you look under the hood, the most loader is messed up, my friends. All right, so I will leave a link to the big old spoiler video that I did over on Hatcher if you want to check that out. Thanks for coming by, my friends. I will see you for the next video. Big shout out to all my patrons.